Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking, and today we're going to be looking into some more Killing Floor 2. It's been quite a while since I last played this game and posted a video on it for you guys, but as of June 13th, they just came out with a brand new patch update that highlights in particular the brand new Sharpshooter perk weapon class. Now, we're going to go through everything in the patch update, but this video in particular is going to focus on that Sharpshooter class. So, but without further ado, let's dive into some of the other patch notes before we actually dive into the gameplay. So, first and foremost, they added two new maps. These are the winners of the Grindhouse mapping contest, and for those of you who aren't familiar with what that was, it was an event that Tripwire hosted for anyone in the Killing Floor community, whether you're a player, another kind of developer, a graphic designer, whatever it was, you were allowed to compete in this community event. And if you won, not only did you get a cash prize, but your map in particular would be integrated into the game in this patch update. So that, contest has obviously concluded at this point. And the two maps that have made their way into the game are Hostile Grounds and Containment Station. Now, I will not be highlighting either of those maps in this video because of the fact that they are both close quarters, close range combat, and the Sharpshooter, you need range, obviously. It's Sharpshooter, you're trying to pick off targets from a distance, so that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to make sure that we get onto a map that does highlight that long range, and then in another video we can go through the actual brand new maps, Hostile Grounds and Containment Station, maybe do a round of both so that you guys can see how awesome and how detailed integration into the game these maps really are. And now, as you can see, I've been messing around with the Sharpshooter a little bit. Level 17 at this point, I really wanted to unlock some of these, skills in the skill tree for the Sharpshooter. So I did do that. I unlocked up to the 3rd tier. They come in every 5 levels. So 5, 10, and 15, then 20 and 25 are the next two that I have to go for. Before we actually dive into more of the Sharpshooter, some of the other updates. The new character has been added to the game. This is Ray Higgins. She is the brand new character that you can actually use in the game. So in case you wanted to be one of the other girls, it's only Anna and Ray at this point. Any of these other characters, such as Tom, or that, I believe it's the sergeant or the captain, the German captain from Red Alert, if I remember correctly, who's, you have to own those games in order to be these characters, but this is just another character that anyone can use. You can really customize her and how her appearance looks from a facial perspective. You can customize her body and place, a different dress on her. And then you can also change the accessories that you apply to her. So whichever ones do apply, you could change those up. I have the Visage de Poupée, I believe it's called. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But in any case, it's pretty cool that they added her to the game just because, they did have a majority all dudes running around. So it's cool that they added her. You could read her entire bio here. I'm not going to. But in case you do, there it is. And it's, it adds another aspect of customization to the game. So right now, in just thinking about the characters themselves, there is a limited amount of customization that's available. Now, when you add, what kind of body style they have, the armor, whatever you, like for instance, I use Tom Banner, so I could choose between these different types of armor on him. And then, that's another aspect of customization. And with the accessories, now we're really starting to get customized. So you can really identify your character as an individual that sets him or her apart from everyone else that's playing the game. So I think that that's an awesome aspect. Obviously the more characters that are available adds another, a more detailed level of customization for us as the players. So I think that that's a pretty awesome aspect that they added. As for the store, now I do have to talk a little bit about the store. They added 2 new supply crates, and they added 2 new USBs. Now, with these supply crates, as you can see, the ones in question marks have not been, uncovered yet. But these are the ones that you will get if you, for instance, you pick up supply crate Series 7 and Series 8. This is what comes in Series 8. And as for the USB keys, you get the SWAT USB key, which caters to SWAT weapons, which kind of look kind of bland, but, they're SWAT weapons. What do you expect? So that's the SWAT USB key, and the old exhibit USB key, which is a little more vibrant, a little more colorful, pretty, pattern, worthy and stuff like that. They're pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. They are pretty neat from that aspect, but The one thing that I do have a little bit of an issue with are the microtransactions. This game is still in open beta, and to have these kind of microtransactions where you're spending $2.50 for a shot at getting something decent between a weapon skin or a cosmetic item, you know, I personally don't agree with it. I think it's a money grab, and I think it's kind of BS for, them to be doing that. Now, for the intents and purposes of the video, I have purchased some of this stuff just to see what was new. When this patch came out, these were all question marks, so you had no idea really what you were getting or what was involved with these crates or USBs. So I have purchased them from the day one when this patch was first released. But I'm just saying, for you guys, I advise you try and stick away from it as much as you can. I mean, maybe once in a while you throw $2.50 at one of these and maybe pick up something cool for yourself that might set you apart. But they also have the community marketplace. So if there is something in particular that you really want, you could buy it directly on there. Again, you do have to spend money for any of these cosmetic items, but that's completely up to you. What I do appreciate is that if you do decide to purchase these items, they give you the market value of them. So you could see the T-Rex mask is worth $10. The front row protection shield is $7.50. Some of the other stuff down here, like the weapon skins, the Desert Eagle weapon skin, $3.99, so $4. So you can kind of compare from how what they should cost versus what they're actually going for in the market, in the community market on Steam. So in case that is something that you're interested in, you can at least see it here, what it's worth, before actually going into the marketplace. They do rotate these weapon skins and cosmetic items out roughly every 2 weeks. So in case you don't see something that you like here, you could check back 2 weeks later, and you'll probably find something that you might like on here in case you want to buy it directly. Now, the game is on sale for 4th of July weekend, which is pretty awesome. You can grab it in the Steam store right now for 33% off. It's only $20. And for $20, you get a lot of game, even though it's in, open beta at this point. They still have not released the full version of the game. So there's probably a ton more content to come, if I had to guess, once they do release the game completely. But as for now, it is still in beta, and I still think it is worth $20 at this point because of the amount of gameplay that you get. Obviously, at this point, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 classes to work with, and you have to level them all up to level 25. They have 2 game modes. I would want to see a couple more game modes, a couple more bosses, but I'm expecting that to be in the full release whenever that is. For those of you who do decide to pick up the game, and again, it is only $20 for this weekend, up until July 4th is when the sale will end. But for those of you who do decide to pick it up, it's pretty cool. They added a basic training tutorial, which is fantastic for you guys as new players to understand how the game works. And you can also pick up cosmetic items for completing this tutorial, which is pretty cool. So it does add a little bit of free customization for you guys into the game, which, obviously customization, everyone wants to be different out there. So, it's pretty cool that they added this so you guys can pick up some stuff and customize your character a little bit. Wet your mouth, I guess, from that perspective as to whether or not you really want to keep, upgrading and buying more stuff for your characters. But from that perspective, I think it's pretty cool. Definitely for the new players, for you guys to understand more of the mechanics of the game, the bosses, the weapons, the perks, everything like that, and how to upgrade stuff, change stuff in and out. That's pretty neat. So definitely props to Tripwire for adding that, even though it is still in beta, as I keep mentioning. But as just some other stuff really quick. What do we want to cover? Oh yeah, the Hans battle. So the Hans battle, where if you guys don't remember how Hans Volter fights, when he goes through the different stages of his transformation before you ultimately fight the toughest form of Hans, he has a shield, and beforehand that used to be an impenetrable shield. It was pretty much invincible. You couldn't hit him, and he would just suck the life out of you, and you'd have to wait for the shield to be disabled before you can start attacking him again. Well, in this patch update, you can disable his shield by shooting it. If you and your team can get that shield off, it can also provide more damage to Hans, and you can actually physically see that now in the UI out there on the battleground. So I'm going to go through the battleground UI as well once we get into the queue. But as for right now, I just wanted to highlight that. And the last thing that I'm going to mention is the new, or I shouldn't say new, the revised skills for 3 of the 8 perk weapon classes. That is the Berserker, the Commando, and the Demolitionist. So 1, 2, and 3 all have quirk updates, or skill updates, I should say. We're not going to go through them in this video. Again, that is going to be for another video. But as for now, we're going to go through the Sharpshooter perk class itself. Again, I am level 17 with it, so I do have some of the skills unlocked. And one in particular is the faster reload, which I think is critical. Just to highlight exactly what those skills are, just really quick. I decided, I'm going to go with the marksman, so shoot 25% faster and move 10% faster when using a sharpshooter weapon versus the inflict 25% more damage when stationary and using sharpshooter weapons. Those are pretty interchangeable. They're both pretty useful. Ballistic shock, stun power with sharpshooter weapons increases by 100% versus stability, which is inflict 30% more damage, but you have to be in a crouching position in order for that 30% more damage to apply. And then the one that I just mentioned, be cool, be quick, faster reload with sharpshooter weapons, and look more elite while doing it. So that is the combat ready perk skill once you reach level 15 versus rack 'em up, which is you have to get consecutive headshots that increases your damage from 5% to 75%. So, I mean, I prefer to have a faster reload, because if you miss, then obviously that skill counter will reset. Once I reach equipment, I can either choose between reduced recoil by 10% and increase headshot damage by 10% when using a scope or iron sights, or always be prepared. We get 25% more ammo for sharpshooter weapons and grenades. Those seem pretty, both seem pretty useful to me. So I might go either way with those. But as for the last one, Master Techniques, Assassin, headshots with sharpshooter weapons will dramatically increase knockdown power. And the Ranger, headshots with sharpshooter weapons will dramatically increase stun power. So you could really, multiply this between the Ballistic Shock and the Ranger. So obviously between the Ballistic Shock and then headshotting them, you're pretty much guaranteed to at least stun whoever you're shooting at. So I think that's a pretty awesome, all these perks are pretty awesome, especially for this Sharpshooter in particular. Now we're going to hop into the server now. Before we do so, just some quick overview of the weapons that are involved. So before the patch update, the Winchester 1894 and the crossbow were equal across all of the perk weapon classes. So you can use them for any of the weapon perk classes, but now they are specific to the Sharpshooter. So the Winchester 1894 and the crossbow are now specific to the Sharpshooter only. Along with that came the M14 high-caliber sniper rifle, which is a semi-automatic sniper rifle. It does have a bigger cartridge than the other weapons that you'll have out there on the battlegrounds. And then everyone's favorite, well, from a futuristic standpoint, the railgun. The railgun has probably the smallest amount of ammo out of all the weapons. Yes, it does. And but it also does the most damage. Obviously, as a railgun, you can imagine it's like an energy ballistic kind of weapon that you're using. But it can penetrate through multiple Zeds at a time, so you could take out multiple targets. High damage. There's a tracking mode and a manual mode. I'll go through that as well once we hit the battlefield. And the last thing that I wanted to point out is the grenade. The grenade for the Sharpshooter is absolutely fantastic. A liquid nitrogen freeze grenade. So once you throw it, you leave it, it sits on the ground for 1 or 2 seconds, and then when it explodes, it freezes any Zeds that are in its blast radius. They are completely frozen, and then once you shoot them, only once you shoot them, unless they're a really weak target, and you might have to freeze them multiple times, so on and so forth, but only once you shoot them, they will explode into thousands of little tiny shards of, ice. And they go all over the map. It's pretty awesome. I'm so glad that they added such a unique grenade to this class. It's pretty cool, so you can even use it just to get away if you want to throw it into a crowd of them and thin them out a little bit. You could throw it into a crowd and then run away and only have to deal with 3 or 4, unless you want to throw them from a distance, and then obviously, as I said, pick them off and blow them up into shards of little tiny pieces of ice. But that's enough of me blabbering. We've gone through the patch update. Just as an overview, again, we are going to highlight the Sharpshooter perk weapon class. We're also going to highlight the UI once we are out there on the battleground, and also the boss battle. So let's hop into the server browser now, and I will see you all out there on the battleground. Alrighty guys, so here we go on a custom map. This is Cube. I'm playing again as the Sharpshooter perk weapon class. As you can see, I have leveled up to level 18 now, almost level 19. It is double XP conversion weekend, or not conversion, but just like double XP for the weekend. There we go. Get some shots down on this side. Maybe switch over to here and help out over here. There we go. Look at all that XP getting racked up. Rack City. When I see them all clumped up over there, I just like to fire in there. Now, if I could get just some, at least just some decent kills. Stun them once, second shot, they're dead. Sneaky little bastard, that one. There you go. And there's the freeze grenade, so as you can see, once you shoot them, they bust into 1,000 shards of glass. Yeah, there we go. That's what I like to see. Get a couple headshots off. Yeah, there we go. Nice work. This team is pretty good, I have to say. They have my back, I've had their back. How did he not die? There we go. And you have to remember, these guys are on the move. So, and they have very, especially on this map, they have very sporadic movements. So it's not very easy to pin them down and get the headshots that we're looking for, but... There we go. We're doing the best we can here. How about another ice grenade, shall we? Now we are level 19. Fan-frickin-tastic. Blood splat. Blood splat. And there, you guys could have the last one. That's awesome. Just freeze them in place. Oh, that's not my last grenade. Never mind. There we go. Get some extra. Oh, boy. There we go. Oh, got him. Oh, I got his buddy. They're both down now. This is the hardest when they're going up the stairs. Got to keep a steady hand, control your breathing. No, just kidding. There he goes. Oh! Snap. Where are you?
Careful of that chainsaw.
Yes! Nice shooting. There we go.
Cover, I reload.
You got out unscathed.
Tried getting in with a team before this, and it did not go so well. I'll be honest with you guys. I did do a match before this, and we got to wave 8, and everyone was at least level 15 with their weapon perk class that they were using.
We're almost out of time.
But, then, of course, wave 8, when people see wave 8, they want to do a couple rounds. They want it to be hard, this, that, and the other thing. And it turns out to be absolutely horrible. Because as more players enter each game, more Zeds will populate the map. And that's one thing that a lot of new players don't understand. So make sure that you realize and understand the difficulty level that you can actually play on. Don't get in over your head. You're only going to be a liability to your team. It's not to say that it hasn't happened before where, you know, I've seen people win on Hell on Earth with, you know, lower level characters. But I'm just saying, you know, you want to make sure, more than anything else, that you aren't a liability to your team, that you can help out in every possible way that you can. And the only way to do that is if you have a ton of the skill tree worked out. You know, you want that to be full when you're helping out your friends on Hell on Earth, because that's the hardest difficulty mode. You're fighting the most amount of Zeds, and you're getting the least amount of money. So if you die, and your team has to help carry you... There we go. How many times do I have to shoot the freaking canister? Jeez. There we go. Enjoy that. There we go. They just pop. There we go. There's another one. Yeah. Oh. Not taking any chances with the guys that decide to come this way. Oh boy! What a headshot that was. Trying to pick off these guys is not that easy. I have to say, especially on these custom maps, they should freeze. Gonna fire into the crowd of them. There we go. I'm gonna stick to this angle. What are they doing over there? Go. Oh no! All right, this is all me here.
Finish the last ones off, so I can open the trader pod.
Concentrate. Breathe. There we go. What? There we go. Just scanning around.
Like an archer at Agincourt.
There we go.
That was the last one.
Well done.
Resupply.
On to wave 10, the final wave before we take on one of the two bosses.
To invest that cash.
So after that, after this round is when I will start getting the railgun and everything like that. And you guys can see how that performs out there on the battlegrounds. Right now we're just going to fill up,
Bonjour. Come and get your tools and trade.
work with what we got.
Choices, people.
This is the hardest wave. It's a long length mission. So 10 out of 10 waves is no joke. I mean, once you get to this point, it gets pretty tough. And even on Suicidal difficulty, that is one difficulty level below Hell on Earth, so it's not the toughest one. I'm probably going to do a video on Hell on Earth probably once I reach, level 25 with this thing, or with this perk, so that, you can see all the bells and whistles come together and really, really deal some hurt.
All Zeds on the scope.
But those are like the elite of the elite that play on Hell on Earth. It's tough. There's no doubt about it. It's tough. Oh, I thought I got him running.
Let's call that your warm-up.
Gonna have to help a little bit. Thin the crowd over here. There we go. Yeah. Gonna help out a little bit. Reload. Do have a scrape to deal with. There he goes. Freeze him up a little bit over there. I'm not that good at anticipating where they're going on these maps. I'll be honest with you. Oh! They're running in a straight line. You can pretty much figure out where they're gonna go, but there you go. Enjoy that. Oh boy. Got awfully close there.
Well done. I can reopen the traitor pod.
There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Line them up, baby. Line them up.
You meet our death at a...
Wisely.
There we
Got
go.
a real fight ahead.
Yeah, we do. Where are we going?
Killing a Scrag is never easy.
Oh, so I got the most kills. Oop. I need to get to that trader quick and use this money. So I will demonstrate the railgun first. It takes one bullet in the cartridge at a time. You have to keep reloading it afterwards. And there are two modes. There's obviously a manual mode and a automatic mode. So there's the railgun. Get rid of that.
Time's almost up.
I'm going to put that over there so that I know to get it. And then one of these just for the hell of it. With not as much ammo, but, you know. Alright, so here's the railgun. Yep, it's Patriarch.
Superior genetics. Oh,
Definitely the easier of the two bosses. One thing I forgot to mention, look at the UI down at the bottom. You can see the weight. I have 10 out of 15 of my weight filled, and that is the cool part about the railgun. You have the auto zoom mode if you want, and that can shoot, or you can do manual mode if you click, you know, well, I click my mouse wheel to do it, but oh, headshot. That was definitely a headshot. Wow, look at his health bar go down. Jesus. We could do homing mode just for now so you guys can see what it's like. Ah! And here we go. Oh! Took them both out. And he's definitely running away at this point. Wouldn't you? Fine by me. If you two want to run at each other. Where is he? There he is. His 3 weak spots, his head, he has a weak arm, and then the center of his torso. Oh yeah, that was a good shot. Almost out of ammo. No, no, no. Come on, line up, line up, line up. Oh, only 2 of you. Oh man, that's such a brutal looking kill. And so the railgun does have that homing mode, as I said. Just kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. As I said, you know, you can just go to homing mode, and you don't even have to really directly hit the target or directly aim at the target. You just have to aim in the general direction. Where is my? There it is. He's coming. He is definitely coming. He does not like me. For whatever reason, he does not want me playing. Yeah, I get that. I think the arm, I don't know why. I feel like the arm is what's doing the most damage. Ow. Oh man, he's taking some serious hits now. Yeah, he's gonna run away. Definitely gonna run away. If we can get him. I wonder if you could kill him before he actually reaches his final wave. Oh! Ugh. Oh, that's his dick. Dick shot. For the win. Here, money. That was sick. Excellent work, everyone. That was really cool. Oh, I got the most headshots and the most kills. That's sick. Nice. Wow. There we go. So obviously, on all the other perks that I use, I'm not going to get any experience for those. I didn't use any weapons for them anyway, but that's going to do it for this episode of Killing Floor 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's a ton of fun. For those of you, again, if you want to group up with me, you're more than welcome to. If you see me on, again, we can fit 6 in a lobby, including myself. It's on sale right now on Steam for 33% off, so it's only $20. That ends on July 4th, so again, at the time of this recording, you still have some time if you do want to pick this title up. Definitely a blast. Definitely a ton of fun. Pretty challenging, obviously, as you climb up in difficulty, but it really is a blast overall. I really, really enjoy this game. I keep coming back to it, especially when they release these new patch updates with new maps, new modes, new perks, stuff like that, and even new bosses. And as you noticed in the UI, you could see the health gauge of the boss now. So you can actually track your progression along the way. You don't have to sit there and guess anymore what phase of the boss you're going into. It displays their health. So they're definitely making more updates. They're definitely moving this title in the right direction. So if you haven't picked it up, I highly suggest doing it now. Obviously, if it is still in beta, the full game hasn't even been released yet, with all the classes and all the, modes and bosses and stuff like that. So, if you do want to pick it up, I highly suggest doing it now. In any case, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Killing Floor 2. I know it's been a while, but I'm gonna try and mix these rounds of gameplay in with this title as much as possible, along with the rest of the titles that I feature on the channel. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. If you even want me to do a stream in Killing Floor 2, I could do that. But in any case, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, guys.